Yo, welcome to Word to Mommy with Mama Mia, where we chop it up and serve it up raw. No sugar-coated bullshit over here. So if you do not have space for accountability, responsibility, or opportunity, this is not the place for you. However, there are other places you can go. I just got back inside, so here might be a little bit. Who cares? Anyways. I got a lot to talk about. I got a lot to say, and I'm in no rush, so let's have a little coffee talk. As my Uncle Mickey would say, a little coffee talk. There comes a time where if you make the decision to lose your life in order to gain your life, there's going to be a period, a void, if you will. The void is where faith is not just tested, it's also built, okay? Because faith is the substance of things not yet seen. The substance, not the optics. The substance. Spitting over here. Excuse me. The substance of things not yet seen. Okay. So that in that void, that's where your faith is tested and built. And I seen something that really put a lot of things in perspective for me. And ideal is sometimes a problem. Okay, sometimes the ideal is the issue. It's not anything other than the thought. That's the problem. If you feel like you have to change who you are in order to be whole, you're not the problem. It's that thought that's the problem. There are people who will refuse to accept the truth because it's not their ideal. Okay? It's not their ideal of the truth. Because their ideal is an illusion. Well, and let me just get down to the nitty and motherfucking gritty, okay? If someone is praying over my life that God reveal things for me or to me or show me this or that, that things will happen that will bring me to God or bring me to Christ and make me fall on my knees and make me confess and whoop, that's enchantment. Baby, that's a spell. Baby, that's witchcraft. That's the same thing as infringing on someone else's free will, ma'am, sir, person, whoever it is. It's no different than someone casting a spell. If you are praying things into people's life because you think that God needs to show them this and God needs to humble them and God needs to bring them to their knees, that is enchantment. That is spell work. That is witchcraft. I mind my business unless it affects me, right? So there are people that have prayed on me and wanted God to reveal things to me, and all they revealed was their prayers and the things that they are praying on me. So while they were praying that God showed me something, God was showing me what people really was praying over and for me. Motherfuckers was wanting me to be fucked up. Like if I'm not their ideal, they were going to try to keep me in this gap and keep me in this loop of victimhood. We're gonna chop it up and serve it up raw, baby. I'm gonna chop it up and serve it up raw. That's the only way I can give it, baby. Raw and uncut. Fuck the frail shit. And knowing now that I know better and I am better, it's some language, because again, like, energy doesn't lie. It's some language that I call brokenese that I just cannot, I don't even want to, like, miss me with it. Brokenese to me is lack, scarcity, fear, powerlessness, unworthiness. All that shit is brokenese, and I don't, like, miss me with it. Miss me with all that bullshit. I can't even miss me with it. Me no speak no broccoli, no habla brokenese, no habla. No entiendo brokenese. And that's what's so funny. Like, I recognize that some people, because they have seen me be a victim, coming out of that victimhood is hard for them to accept. Me coming out of that is hard for them to accept. It ain't hard for me to accept. I've accepted. You don't need to heal. You're perfectly and wonderfully made. You need to accept who you are, not who other people, the ideal that other people have for you. That's not who you are. You are not the ideal of what other people. Matter of fact, you might even surpass the ideal of what other people think of you. But if you are so stuck on trying to be who they want you to be instead of allowing and accepting who the fuck you are, that shit is that is so heavy. That shit gets so heavy. That shit gets so fucking heavy. Drop it. Drop it. I decided to desert every single expectation that others had on me. Free, that's liberation, baby. That who the sun set free is free indeed. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't want you to be free. And yet spiritual manipulation is a real thing. Spiritual manipulation is when people try to manipulate your intuition and manipulate you about your intuition. And they don't, because they don't want you to tap into your innate spiritual power. Again, everybody has intuition. Not everybody has discernment. I get it. And I don't expect people that don't have discernment to display discernment. However, what they say, warning comes before destruction. I'm gonna always disclose the truth. I'm gonna always tell who I am, what, how I what. And if you confused about it, it's because you want to be confused. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't. I'm not causing no confusion. I'm whole, so I'm very much so a freedom fighter for some and a terrorist to others. And I accept and be holy. And my whole come with a W. My holiness comes with a W. It's a whole thing, baby. A whole thing. I am indeed edified, but like, I don't need to pontificate. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to do all that. And if it's coming off like that, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Because again, it's whole. It's wholeness. Holistic wholeness, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's just in harmony with the whole, the universe, nature, God. I'm in harmony. I'm one with it all. That's why I cannot speak no broken knees, because God, universe, nature is limitless, is infinite, bountiful, beautiful, limitless. The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist. Sometimes it's not you that's the problem, it's your fucking thoughts. The thoughts that you hold on so deeply and so tightly to. If you are looking for a condition in order to accept yourself, that is the problem. That's the problem. If you have to be this or have that or doing this in order to be accepted, in order to be whole, that is the problem. And it's going to continue to cause problems because, again, you and your being where you are at this very moment, you're whole. You're worthy, okay, of being accepted. The healing is not linear. It's not something like, it's not even a destination. Healing is like a spiral up, okay? You'll come back around to something that hurts you. Like, you'll have to circle back around to something that may have caused you trauma. And you circling back around it is the opportunity to transmute that trauma into power, to transmute and get a different perspective and get a different, to extract the lesson and the blessing from the experience. Because again, your experience is your experience. Can't nobody tell you how to heal from something that you went through. Like, it's your journey, it's your path. However, if you think that your healing is based on conditional, on conditions, it's going to be a constant, it's going to, you're going to keep you're gonna keep getting the same events. Like, for example, okay, once I did the I am and had to go start looking at the core beings, because again, your identity is based on your being is what you do and what you have. It all comes from your being. Your who is always gonna be the how. Okay. So I had to recognize, like, I've been the scapegoat in my life. Like, in my experience, a lot of people come around and they make me their scapegoat because I'm so nice and they see that as me being naive. And I'm so understanding, and people see that as a way of manipulating me, and you know, for me, for a way to um, put their bullshit on me and make me out to be the bad guy. The fucked up part for them though is I actually enjoy that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want me to be the bad guy in your life, you better be careful what you ask for, because I might really show the fuck up and show the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like, really do that. Like, yeah. Like, yeah. Because, like I said, a freedom fighter to some is a terrorist to others. So, if I'm going to be the motherfucking goddamn terrorist, mm-hmm, I'm going to show up and show the fuck out. However, this video is getting a little too long. Like I said, I do have a lot to say, but moral of the story is this. I had to go within and really assess who the fuck I am and remember that, because it's all it is remembering. It ain't, I was already perfectly and wonderfully made out the gate. Deserted all the expectations and freed myself from opinion of man, freed myself from and freed myself to, because that's another thing. I'm free to be me. And because I'm free from the illusions, free from the opinions, I don't need no permission. I'm free to be me. All right, but anyways, it's time for me to cook some. Anyways, like yourself, love yourself. I love you for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Peace.